Hey moms, welcome to the Gather Moms podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Rebecca. We've created this space just for you because we're both moms and we get you.
Yes, we believe there truly ain't no hood like the motherhood, and we need to be in this together. We also believe we can't mom well without Jesus, so you're going to hear us talk about him too.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Gather Moms and make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
All right, mamas, let's jump in. Moms, welcome to episode 9, and we are so excited today because today you're not just going to hear from Rebecca and I, you get to hear from the fabulous Jenny Worsham. Woo-woo! Today's episode number 9 is Meet Jenny. Jenny, say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here with y'all today.
Oh, so glad she's here. Is critical to this whole gather thing that we are doing, and we are so glad that we finally got her on. Rebecca, tell us, what does Jenny do for gather? How would you describe it?
Jenny is my calm in the storm.
Right?
I tell her this all the time. When I get frazzled, like I just need to think of Jenny and I'm like, oh, I'm better. I just got to think of her. She really is the one that I think God planted the seed in.
Yes.
And so from that seed, he has grown something literally that we could not imagine.
Yeah.
But I think it's so cool how he grew that seed in her and how we got here today. So I would love to hear that from her.
Yeah. Well, so, Jenny, sorry, but before we ask you what your job is, I think one of the things I have loved growing to learn about you is what a visionary you are. Not only do you do all the financial things for Gather, which I'm so thankful for.
Hey, her nickname, let's share it.
What's her nickname?
Penny Jenny.
Oh, is it?
Well, something I made up.
It has been.
Yes.
But she's a CPA. And so, but then she is the one who keeps driving us forward and saying, okay, this is what's next down the road. This is what's next down the road. And she causes us to dream big. But Jenny, officially in Gather, your title is?
The director of the neighborhood groups.
That's right.
Yes. So that's kind of how Gather started, was just really wanting to put moms together in community, so that they didn't feel so alone. And that was what initially God put on my heart, because I had a lot of community just through my church. But then as I started meeting moms in my neighborhood, I realized that not all moms have instant friends or instant community. They may have just moved here. They may be in a new season of life and have a new baby, and all their friends didn't have kids, or, it's all different seasons that we find ourselves in, and you need sometimes different friends for those different seasons. And so that was the heart of Gather, was putting moms into community together so that we don't have to do this alone, because it can feel so isolating to just be struggling and not have anybody to talk things through with, and have someone a little further down the road to help walk you through that. And
I think that's so important, because when I get stuck in my life and I'm just going through the day-to-day, I just don't have time on that train to think about other people or other things. But there are so many mamas in their house that feel alone and almost lost because they're doing that same thing in their life, but they have nobody to call or talk to.
Right.
And so uniting moms in community is such a blessing, because it helps those mamas come out of that house and actually find people that can help them through these situations.
Yeah,
sure.
and Gather makes it easy for them, because it can be hard. We talk to moms all the time about how it's hard to find your group. It's hard to find community. Okay, so Jenny, before we deep dive any more into Gather, I want to throw it back, and I'm going to ask Rebecca to tell us about, when did you, because you and Jenny have been friends for a long time.
Girl, we go to the way back. I think Jenny was raised in a bubble too, so I feel like we are bubble buddies.
Y'all are
Bubble
both
buddies.
Bubble buddies, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so I don't think people know this, but Jenny and I met in college.
Yes.
And so
where did y'all go to school?
We went to the University of Mary Hardin Baylor in Belton, Texas.
Yes. Go Crew.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Crusaders, right?
Yes.
Crusaders. Come on, Becca.
My bad, people. My bad. I was in the band.
You didn't
Is that not enough?
You didn't know your team?
Well,
she knows.
I mean, I wore the purple uniform on the football field to march.
Purple.
I look like Barney.
That's a lot.
With the
Purple
bass
is a lot.
drum. So many bees. I was raised in a bubble. I look like Barney, and I marched with the bass drum.
You marched with the bass drum?
I did. Girl, I told you I was a band girl.
I know you were a band girl, but The bass drum?
Look, I'm going to tell y'all
Traded
something.
in the flute for the
tell you
bass drum.
something. In marching band, the flute is unimportant.
Yeah, you can't hear it on the field.
We are just out there to fill spots.
So that's when you pivoted because you wanted to be
So
heard?
this new band was like, we need a bass drum. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with being in the back of the marching band. I'm going up to the front. Give me the bass drum.
Okay, I'm totally band ignorant. Is the bass drum, do you wear, like, are there straps, right?
Girl, yeah.
And is it the big thing in front of you and you like bang
It kind of makes you feel pregnant, not going to lie.
Yeah.
And I had the tiniest bass drum. Like, there's a really little bass drum. So, I mean, literally, I was out there with a baby.
I think that's super fun that you were the bass drum.
Let's just admit that I didn't know how to play the bass drum. So if you see video of that, I'm really just hitting the thing back and forth. Yeah, no shame.
I feel like that's maybe the one instrument I could handle. That or like
Girl,
the triangle.
Yes.
You put me out there with the triangle. I'm like,
Jenny,
ding,
did they have triangles? Oh, they were on the sidelines. Triangles didn't
Yeah, the
march.
little xylophone people.
Yes,
yeah,
no,
not
that's-
really band members.
What were they called?
They were like people that
Accessories?
needed to be in the orchestra, but they wanted to be on the field.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
so I don't want to be the triangle.
But I mean, if it's your life dream, I'm not going to tell you
No,
no.
I just don't have
so-
any musical ability. So I was just trying to think through what could I contribute that wouldn't make it, terrible. Ding, ding, ding. Nothing.
Maybe you could twirl the flags or something.
Oh, twirl the flag. She's going to get a head injury. Watch out. Rebecca, you don't think I'm coordinated?
I love you, girl.
I didn't
but
make the
them
flag corps
flags,
either.
That's hardcore.
There was only like 8 of us that tried out and 6 made it. I was the 2
Did you
in
try out
7th
at Mary
grade.
Hardin Baylor? Oh, this was in
No,
7th
yeah,
grade. Okay.
in middle school. To be in the high school, yeah, no, I wasn't good at it.
Okay, so Jenny and I went to college together. Okay,
right.
I'm back. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm the one. I'm the chosen
Good
one this time to bring
job.
us
You
back
brought
to
us
the train.
back.
And I graduated in 2000. You graduated in
2002.
2002. Okay, so Jenny was younger than me.
Yeah, I was only a year younger, but you graduated
Early to get married.
So,
Y'all,
yeah.
my daddy said, I will either pay for your wedding if you graduate college, or you can get married before you graduate college, and I'm not paying for your wedding. So I said, Daddy, I will graduate a semester
Girl,
early.
I didn't know this about you either. So did you just like went buck wild on your classes?
Well, and it's so funny because I think it's even easier today to graduate early.
Yeah.
You can get credits all kind of ways. So I took some summer school. I got
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a religion degree, so maybe we didn't need as many credits.
So
Like doctors and nurses.
the first time I ever heard Rebecca's name was at my freshman year. She was a sophomore, and we have this thing on the school called the Miss Mary Hardin Baylor pageant.
Heyo.
Okay, it's a historical tradition for many, many years. So, Rebecca was Miss
Sophomore class.
Sophomore class. Okay,
That's me.
and I was not in the pageant, but I was watching it in the audience. And the very first night, there was 2 nights.
Yes,
right?
2 nights. First night was
So
talent.
the first night was talent. So she played the flute,
And
not the bass
bombed.
drum.
Bombed.
Okay, I remember this
Completely
story.
froze. Like
Rose up. My hands went numb.
What? Yes.
Walked that instrument all the way through the song. Had a little piano accompaniment. Ran off stage crying. Not going to lie. Yes.
But then the next night, she came back, and was it top 10 or something they did, or top?
Yes, if you made the
Something.
top 10, you had to do your talent again. So
What?
I might have prayed. I did pray before we started that night. Lord, if you'll just get me through tonight,
So we were
I
all
will
like,
never do a
"What?
pageant
She's in the
again."
top 10? She totally messed up her talent."
See, y'all, but I'm telling you, it's all about the interview. It is all about the interview. That's what they say in Miss America too. So y'all don't get to see the interview. I killed it.
But you had to do that
You know
dang
she killed
flute
it.
again, but you did good.
It was only the Holy
well?
Spirit. It was only the Holy Spirit because there was no way I could get through that. No.
So she ended up winning the crown.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Our
So she
pageant
became
queen.
Miss Mary Hardin Baylor.
Yes.
So that was the very first time that I ever heard your name, but I didn't actually know you.
It's so funny. That one moment in time. One moment in time.
What song is that?
Don't know.
Okay, you just made that up.
So that is an actual song. Show
Oh.
notes, people. Show notes.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
So tell about how we actually met.
Okay, so I was a part of a ministry on campus called Sage Women's Ministry.
Yes.
And we did a weekly Bible study for our college-age friends there on campus. And we were recruiting a team of people, and we needed some younger people to come alongside us. So when we graduated, they could carry on this ministry. And Jenny joined the Sage team.
And they needed someone to count the money.
Hey, you know
That's
what?
where I
Pickle
became
jar.
Penny Jenny.
Penny
Yeah.
Jenny with our pickle jar.
Yes.
I had a
still have
pickle
it.
jar that we put the money in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how we started just doing ministry together. We would travel all over the state and out of state to do these conferences for teenage girls.
Yeah.
All through college, after
Sage
college, continued on to, I don't even know what year.
Girl, we are still going, right?
Well, yes.
Yes, in our hearts.
So,
we are still going. But here's the deal. So Jenny was going to marry this sweet boy named Trent, who was actually interviewing for a position here in Rockwall, Texas, which is where we live. And I got to go on the interview with Trent. Like, I wasn't the hiring person, but I was part of the staff, so I got to go. And I knew if I got Trent, I got Jenny.
Oh.
So I was like, we got to hire this boy now so we can get Jenny up here to Rockwall. The rest is history. Here we are.
And then she convinced me in our neighborhood even to switch lots because I was in a different part of the neighborhood from her. And she said, I really think you're going to regret being over there. I think you need to be over a few streets from me.
Jenny, that is so true.
So we totally changed lots and moved closer to her
Is
so
that
that I'm
serious?
3 streets
I have
back
never
now.
heard that. Girl, I got some woo.
She has wooed my life.
Yes. But now you can't imagine living anywhere else but on that street.
Yeah.
No.
Perfect for you.
And for our listeners, I mean, we live in a really hilarious community bubble, but we're 3 streets. It's Rebecca. There's a street between Rebecca and I.
Yes.
And then Jenny and I are
Back to back
streets. So it's just
We
kind of
can
crazy.
walk to each other's houses.
Yeah,
Yes, we
it's
can.
very handy.
It's awesome.
Kind of like Mayberry.
Yeah. I think it's wild that you two went to college together and then ended up in the same town with husbands on staff at the same church. Like, isn't that wild?
That was God. People, hello. It is Jesus. He said, y'all need to be friends for the rest of your life. So here you go.
Jenny's husband's name is Trent and Rebecca's husband's name is Greg. Did Trent and Greg know each other at UMHB?
A little bit, but Greg was even older than Rebecca. So
Yes.
Trent and I are the same age. So
Okay.
he was kind of going out the door when we were coming in.
Okay.
But, little known fact.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
My husband was Trent's youth pastor when he was in
He was the intern for the summer.
high school. Was it
Yeah,
when Trent
Trent
was in high school?
school.
And Greg was the youth intern at that church in Victoria, Texas.
Yep.
And he knew Trent when
That
Trent was in high
is
school.
the smallest world.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they
Telling
actually
ya.
did know each other, I guess. But in college, kind of
Yes.
missed
Yeah.
each other.
passed in time. But
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
We are so
crazy.
interconnected, Jenny. Oh my gosh, do we have the same DNA?
Sisters by another mister.
Oh.
I thought she was gonna go with the mom, but she
Yeah.
went with the dad.
Yeah.
Although we've always said our dads should be friends because
They
they are
should.
alike and they
They
should play
are.
golf together.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
They're sweet daddies.
I feel like there's some sci-fi music playing in the
And
background. This is getting a little
Both
weird.
of your parents live in our neighborhood.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, I promise we're not a commune. I promise. We're normal people. Normal. Yes.
No, it's so great. It's so great. Jeremy and I have loved watching your parents move to where you are. Like, that's totally how we see ourselves doing life as grandparents. It's just wherever the kids
following
are,
the
we
kids.
just go and help.
Yes.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah, so I love that.
Okay, so then though, so I knew Jenny, but then I had to connect you and Kate.
That's right.
So I was the girls minister at my church.
Yep.
And I needed some warm bodies
Yeah.
to come and love
I'm
these
so
teenage
thankful.
girls.
That's how you saw me, not as a super gifted.
That too. But I mean, we have to have enough volunteers in the building to make it safe.
Yes.
So we had this thing called Girls Night In where we would go. It's not an all-nighter because I did not do an all-nighters. It was from 7 to midnight. And I am
Still crazy enough.
I'm pretty sure that you both came and were volunteers at the Girls Night In
Yeah,
together
I'm
and
sure
taught.
we
You
were.
probably taught. I used your super great abilities. Yes, I did. And y'all met each other.
I probably taught and left. I'm going to be real honest with you. That whole
Yeah,
locking
Kate's
people
not
in
a
a
big-
room thing is my worst nightmare.
Jenny was all about it because she loved all the
about
nail
it.
painting and games.
I thought of the idea
and
of toilet paper in the pier way
She
before they did
did?
that now. Like,
Yes.
of throwing toilet paper everywhere.
That
In the
is
building.
Jenny.
That's fun.
Yes,
That's
yes.
fun. Yeah, no, my worst nightmare. I'm like, you show up, you tell me my slot, I'll be in here.
And then I'm out.
Do my thing. See you later.
Jenny's a stay till the end. Good job, Jen. Yes.
But then, I mean, so that was probably like, I don't know, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we all ended up in the same life group at our church. You know, you may have like a Sunday school class or
Yeah.
so we call those life groups. And so we ended up in the same life group. And then all of our husbands are on staff at the same church. And we all live 3 streets over from one another.
I'm telling you, sci-fi music in the background is getting
And
weird.
so-
God ordained.
Yeah, our lives overlap. Our kids are similar ages. And so it really works for us it has made community easy for us because we get each other, we understand what each other are going through.
Yes.
And so it's just this really beautiful, wonderful thing. So we're friends all this time. It's magical. It's wonderful. We have all these babies, right?
Yes.
So Jenny has 2 kids.
Yes.
And so when you started Gather, how old were your kids?
My son had just started kindergarten, so I guess he was like 5.5, and so that would make my daughter like 1.
Yeah.
Because they're about, well, maybe 1.5.
Yeah, because I was thinking Noah's in kindergarten.
Yeah.
So what, you kind of mentioned that a little bit, that you were starting to rub arms, with other mamas. Rub arms, elbows.
Oh my gosh, that's weird. Rub arms.
It's COVID.
What? I mean, I guess that's a safe part of the body to touch. It's better than the thigh. Throw it back to you, thigh grabber.
I grab thighs.
Okay.
But what does it even mean to rub elbows? Isn't that kind of a weird
to
thing?
work alongside each other, right? To like get in the pit with each other and like work hard, shovel dirt.
It's kind of weird.
Anyway, yes, I met moms
yeah, sorry,
at the
she's wanting to
school.
get back on track.
Jenny and I are both on call for this one. Yes, we
I
are.
had another point. Have y'all seen people are doing like the COVID greeting is like the elbow touch?
Yes.
Oh, y'all wait till church resumes. That is the national how to greet one another. Is the elbow touch.
It is.
Yes.
It's a little awkward for sure.
It's just kind of a new, different thing. I'm having a hard time.
I'm just gonna
with
wave.
it.
I'm just gonna wave people.
Okay, so sorry. So where were we? Do you remember, Jenny?
So that's how I met moms, was because my son was starting to kindergarten. So again, in our little Mayberry community, our school that our kids go to is around the corner.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I would walk my kid or Noah to school and have Emma in the stroller. And so I just started meeting moms, other kindergarten moms who, you're all kind of freaked out together.
Yes.
It's your oldest kid going to kindergarten.
You're crying on the front porch together.
Yes. So that's just how I started to meet moms and just realize, like, man, there's a lot of awesome moms in our neighborhood that don't know each other and don't have any community. Maybe they don't go to a church. Maybe they would like to go to church, but their husband won't go, or whatever. There could be many reasons, but they don't have a way to meet other people. Yeah. And so really trying to like pour into them, not just to have because there's plenty of like little mom groups or, play groups or things like that you can go to and find on the internet. But
I've never been to one of those. Have you ever been to a play group?
Well, like I have
randomly?
play dates with people.
You mean like just show up randomly to a play group?
Yeah,
something?
like I know there are play groups, but that feels like a lot for me. I don't know. I saw those, where it's like you're supposed to go meet at the playground and play, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of small talk,
There was this group years ago. Was it called the La Leche group?
Yeah.
They still meet nursing
mom. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't say anything
that's
bad
like a
about
group.
La Leche. They will come for
them
you,
nursing
Rebecca.
moms are hardcore.
Yes.
No, but I remember I didn't know what like mom groups were until a friend of ours was in the La Leche group.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is what moms do. We like find a common thing and we all get together and talk about it.
Yes.
Yes. So with Gather, though, I wanted to be more intentional, like helping these moms really be intentional about the time with their kids.
Which I jive with. I want a purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes it less small talky, like whatever, if you have like a purpose that you're there for, So anyway, so we started kind of just meeting. We just would meet like once a month for an hour. Yeah, at my house. And I just kind of started talking through like a different family value every month.
Right.
And so we would talk about one thing that they could take home from that family value that they could do better in their home that month. Mm-hmm. And so it would be, if it was heading into February, it would be love. And so we would encourage them of different ways to show love to their kids, or maybe they put heart sticky notes on the door, or maybe if that doesn't work, they make little love box letter,
Who was it?
Jennifer Brown.
Say it. She has boys.
Yes.
And didn't she put the hearts on the doors?
Yes.
And what happened?
They tore them all off and threw them on the ground and said that was stupid.
They would rather have a pancake in the shape of a heart. Food.
It just
Food
doesn't
for the boys.
always work.
No, so you have to adjust it. Like that was not the one thing that she needed to leave with.
There you go.
But whatever works for you. So we just started kind of meeting, and more moms kept coming. And then after a year, I was like, okay, well, we've done this for a year. Are we good to,
Jenny
stop
tried
meeting?
to cut us off, and we were like, nope.
And everybody was like, no, we'd like to keep meeting. And I was like, okay, here we go. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
So anyway, since then, it's just kind of grown through our Gather Moms event that we have once a year.
Yep.
And just organically over time of moms hearing about this and being willing to step up and say, hey, I want community. So I'm going to start one where I live and invite moms to come. And so it's been really neat just to see how they've just formed in different ways.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because they're not all neighborhood groups, right? Like some of the groups have other things that they meet.
So you can meet, you can form a gather group by where you live, and sometimes that's easiest because you're in the same area together. But what we've seen over time is that there's other factors that draw moms together that may not be geography.
Right.
So it might be that they speak the same language. So we had some Spanish moms come and say, hey, we would love to have a group just for Spanish speaking moms. Yeah. And so we have a couple of those groups going now.
Yeah.
And so we translated all of the materials into Spanish for them. It could be like by circumstance, like maybe you have a special needs child and you don't relate to a mom that doesn't have a special needs child because your life is totally different. And so you need that community. And so we have a special needs moms group. We have some adoptive moms that are wanting to start one for just, parents that adopt because they have different challenges.
Yeah. And then Gather 2.0.
Yes. So it can be by season of life.
Yeah.
So moms that have newborns aren't really relating to moms that have kids going to college or have grandkids or something. And you're still a mom in every season of that.
Amen.
But you're in different seasons. So God led some moms that are in kind of college and adulting and grandparenting seasons to start what we're calling Gather 2.0. So those moms are talking about different topics. They're meeting at different times and organized differently, but it meets their needs for where they're at.
Love it. So cool.
It's
so my gosh. Like as you're like, I know about these things, but as you're talking about it, I'm like, go God.
No, we love it because one of the things at the Gather event that is just the best part of the night is we give people an opportunity to kind of meet up with people that might be in their group, whether it's by neighborhood or by season or need. And it is just so fun to watch all these moms connect in this huge place and find each other and create relationships and create community that they maybe didn't have before. Right? Find help and resource. I mean, we have to have each other. Momming is lonely.
Yes.
It can be so lonely when you're doing it by yourself and you think that your kids, like you're the one screwing everything up and your kids are the only ones that are like demon spawn and they're not,
not going to the bathroom correctly or still crawling in your bed at night to sleep with you or
leaving the shoes all over the floor. I just have a stop down. I'm having problems with the shoes in my house.
Girl, we got to work you through the shoe issue, okay?
I don't understand.
Just tell your kids to wear them all day and not take them off, and then they won't leave them anywhere in the house.
Take them off and put them away. Mm-hmm. And like when I find one shoe in one room and another shoe in another room, it's like
crazy too.
Did you have a seizure between the living room and your bedroom? Like what is going on?
They'll come to my house. You just do whatever you want. Just leave your shoes wherever you want in my house. I am in that mode now with work and school where I'm like, all right, it's called survival.
Yes.
How are you going to survive this?
No. Okay. But so that's a good thing to talk about. Yes. Because I think if we're not in community, you don't hear other people saying, oh, listen, we've eaten takeout every night this week because we have switched to survival mode.
Yes.
We are not thriving. We are just checking the boxes every day,
Yes.
And so
that's what's so good, I think about Gather is because when you get in a room with other moms, no story is alike. Everybody has got something that they're doing a little bit differently.
Right.
And sometimes it is like a light bulb in your head when you're like, oh my goodness, I never thought of doing it that way.
Yeah.
And you can walk out, just like Jenny said, take that one thing and walk out. It could literally change your home.
Oh, for sure.
The next season of life because you figured something out from another mom in community.
Yeah,
yes. And we can get in such a like, I don't know, where we are surviving for a long time or something. And it's just kind of this whirlwind of just day in and day out. And we look back on a year and we're like, dang, did we progress in any particular area?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. Did we meet any goals? And I think one of the things I love about our Gather group is it helps me know that we are reaching milestones. We are being intentional. We're having conversations about responsibility and thankfulness. And because I took that hour out of the month, went and chatted with other mamas and came home inspired, to do those things in my home.
Right. Yes, for sure. And I think even during this time of COVID, it's made it even more challenging, to find that community and to not feel so alone, because everybody's responding in a different way with COVID.
My gosh.
And so, everybody is insecure about how they're doing it and how they're handling everything.
You're right.
And so to be in community in some capacity has been, I think we've realized the importance of it, because, for several months it was like, okay, we can't gather, the meme, like, take it down, Karen, it's illegal, take down your gather sign.
We became illegal, our whole gather thing. And we just got put on blast the other day on Facebook when somebody had on our gather shirt and said, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be wearing this,
You do. I looked at Hobby Lobby the other day at some signs that were like, gather together, my home is an open door or something. I'm like, nope.
Oh, no.
Hobby Lobby, you got to change with the times. Come on. Who's making your signs for you? Social distance, 6 feet apart, don't touch me.
They need to make little placards to go on all those signs that says, like, in your heart. Gather in your heart.
But still, it's been neat to see that even though it's challenging for sure to figure out ways to meet together, but that some of our gather groups have been creative in ways of finding ways to make that work. Yeah. So, for instance, we've had 2 different neighborhoods, our neighborhood here and then another neighborhood in Rockwall, who have had a mom in their community that has lost their husband to cancer or been in a cancer struggle. Yeah. And to see those gather moms rally around those moms that are struggling has just been a beautiful thing to see, feel that they're not alone, to have a parade and support or and let them know that Gather is a place not just to encourage you and to inspire you to be intentional, but in those valleys that you have people there to walk that through with you.
That's right.
And that you're not alone. Yes. And so that's been really neat. We have a group that meets in Nigeria with a sweet lady named Biola who leads it there. And they've had a mom in a couple of different situations. They had a mom that lost a baby. They had a mom who her child needed like a blood transfusion, I think, for diabetes or something. And so they did like a blood drive. Awesome. They did like a car wash for a baby that was in the NICU. Awesome. So they have done, like, their gather group has really rallied around moms in their community that are struggling. Yeah. Which is really cool. Like, so that's cool. What it is in this time is, we may not be able to be physically together every month, but to be able to know that you have a community that cares for you. That's right. So important.
It matters.
And it's global. Like, I love that she just said Nigeria.
Right?
Y'all, we think that we're like moms in America are different than moms in other countries.
Oh, right.
But we have kids and struggles and heartache and pain. And so to know that mamas across the world are experiencing the same things that we are here and Gather being able to reach them, it just reminds me of the gospel.
Yes, for sure.
It is. It's global.
I almost feel like even moms around the world need Gather more than even moms in America sometimes, because we have more opportunities for play groups or whatever. But in other parts of the world, like, there is no community for that in some places. And so that's what Biola keeps telling me, like, this is so essential. Like, the same things that y'all struggle with is stuff that we struggle with. Wow. And so
awesome.
It's been really sweet. So I'm excited. I think in the future, God will grow it to take it other places. So if y'all know of moms and you're listening that live in other parts of the world that maybe feel isolated, maybe they're missionaries or expats or whatever it is, starting a Gather group is a great way to start that community. If you're having to move somewhere, maybe for the military or, Yeah.
Something. So if they did want to start a Gather group, where they're meeting maybe in their neighborhood or by need or by season, for once a month, we have this free curriculum they can download from the website. What do? They want to connect. They want to have a Gather group. What's the first thing they should do?
So I encourage moms to find a couple of other moms that they think would be on board with them, because it can be overwhelming to be the Lone Ranger that you're trying to do this on your own. So if you can find at least one other mom that would say, hey, this is a great idea, let's do this together and partner up. And so I think that would be the first thing to maybe pray about. God, send someone to help me reach out to other moms. And then really, we provide everything for you to make it as easy as possible. Yep. So you go to our website, gathermoms.com, and it says start a Gather, and you click there, and then it takes you through some steps, and then you get a link to download all the curriculum that we've written, and it's completely free.
Yep.
It has a handout that you can make copies of for the people coming, and then it has a leader guide that you can use that has extra resources and ways to prepare. But I mean, it even has, conversation starters and icebreakers. And
is this a Bible study, Jen?
It is not a Bible study.
Okay.
So the whole goal of Gather is to bring moms into community no matter where they are on their faith path.
There you go.
If moms have no idea about God, if they're not even interested in God, we want it to be a place that they feel safe coming and they want to come and be there. And so every lesson has scripture throughout it because there is no way that we can mom without God.
Yes.
Amen.
But we also make it not a Bible study environment. It is a environment where all moms would feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, hopefully they see God through these moms that are there, and that they want the peace and the joy that those moms are getting, and want to find out more about that, and hopefully can come to experience God.
I love it. Yeah. So if you're interested, go to gathermoms.com, click Start a Gather, and then you'll start coming through our system. We'll reach out to you. We'll follow up with you, make sure you're taken care of. Jenny, we love your heart for Gather, and just this idea that God planted in you that community matters, you know, because he talks about it in his word that we need to be in community, right?
Yes. One of my favorite verses is in Hebrews chapter 10. It says in verse 23, "Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful." Which I love that part just in this time of COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
he hasn't left us.
No, everything else seems to be swerving everywhere.
True.
But we are supposed to hold unswervingly to that hope that he is faithful.
Yeah.
And then it says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds," which is exactly what those gather groups are doing.
Yep.
"Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." And that's, again, exactly what these gather groups are doing, is making community to encourage each other and not to give up on that. It's easy when your schedule gets busy to make that not a priority.
Yeah.
But to say, you know what, I'm going to make it a priority this year for myself, for my family, for the health of all of us, to find community and not do this alone.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's so good. So we got together as a Gather team probably a month ago, do you think, 6 weeks ago? And we were just kind of dreaming about, what could we provide to these neighborhood Gather groups? They haven't been able to meet in person really, or they've gotten creative with it, but what could we help them do so they could feel like that they're still connecting to their neighborhood group? And so we dreamed up this idea, and we're so excited about it. It's actually going to go with season 2 of the podcast. So Rebecca, do you want to
We're moving into season 2?
We are. Woo-hoo! We did. Y'all, it's still mind-boggling that we did 10 episodes for season 1.
What?
All about the pandy. We are ready to not talk about our girl Rona anymore.
Oh,
we're done with her.
She'll always be our friend, but we'd like to relegate her to the closet.
We're like
now.
enemy.
Yeah, I'm unfriending Rona.
Friends.
No, y'all Gather is friends with everybody.
Okay.
Come on, ladies. Come on.
So we are transitioning, and so we are going to offer we're going to partner with our podcast, what we're doing here, and then also offer a way for our Gather groups to connect. So Rebecca, tell us about it.
Okay, so we would love, because we think that this new fancy thing called Zoom is fabulous, that we can connect with each other via the internet.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a Bible study online during the month of October, once a week, where you can gather on a Zoom with us and listen to a Bible study that we are titling Mama.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited.
And we're so excited because we're going to dig deep in some moms of the Bible.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what God did in their life and how that can apply to our lives. So it's going to be really good. And so we're going to gather together to do this Bible study together. But then as a way to equip our Gather groups, they can then jump off that Bible study and have discussion in their groups.
Yeah.
And they can do that several different ways on their Gather pages on Facebook, or they could set up a Zoom as well for their group to gather together, or maybe even just by text if you have a small group.
Yeah.
But we think it's important that once you take in the Word of God, that then you talk about the Word of God, so that it really does become a part of your life.
That's right.
And so we're so excited for that October 1st.
October 1st. So we're going to do the video kind of get-togethers, the virtual gatherings on Thursday evenings, and Rebecca and I will take turns teaching. We're going to do for 4 weeks.
Yes.
And then we'll have fun follow follow-up discussion on the podcast, which I'm excited about. You know what I'm really excited about? The new merch that we're going to roll out.
Girl, we love us some. Plus, it's fall, so we need some fall merch.
Yes, so we're getting to do fall stuff, and I'm excited about that. I love that it's Mama. I love that we're kind of looking at moms of the Bible in a new light.
Yes.
You know, it's not the things that I studied from 1994. Like, I mean, no, I don't mean to throw shade on those, but it's just a new.
You mean we're not going to talk about the Proverbs 31 woman for 4 weeks?
No, we're not. I think it's going to be fun to talk about these moms. I'm excited to dig in and research them and then share. And
it's going to be good.
I just think it's going to be awesome. And so it'll be a really cool way for our neighborhood groups to kind of come up around each other again and meet virtually. And so we're excited to offer this for them. So stay tuned because we are going to explain all of that coming up. We'll make it very clear on exactly how you join, exactly when to tune in, what your group needs to do, and all of that good stuff. But we're so excited. Jenny, we are so thrilled that you were here.
She's coming back. You got to come back now. Now that we got this whole thing down with like 3 people on the podcast.
That was the whole thing.
No, we didn't even have any technical difficulties. Come on. We're knocking it out the park.
We hope. We're going to have to listen to this back. We might be like, wait.
It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be fabulous.
But Jenny, we love you. We're amazed by you.
Thanks for having me.
We're so thankful for your vision.
I'm cheering you guys on. I love this.
Really, this podcast was Jenny's idea.
It was.
She was the one that was like, why aren't you people doing a podcast?
Yes.
Y'all need to do a podcast.
And she kept driving us on it even when we were like,
we're like, Jenny, we don't have time for a podcast. What are you talking about?
I guess it, yeah.
Then the pandy came. We had some time.
Let's do it,
okay, so we would love for you to keep up with Jenny as we head out from here. She has all kinds of, I feel like your life has some hijinks that are funny to follow.
She is so funny on social media.
Yes.
Like, if it can happen to somebody, it's going to happen to Jenny.
And so go find her at Jenny Lynn Worsham on Instagram. And of course, Rebecca and I want to connect with you at the Rebecca Bradford and at Kate Henderson on Insta. And we are so excited to be wrapping up this season. And stay tuned for more information on the Mama Study.
Oh, we've got one more episode in our season though. Yeah. So y'all make sure and tune in next time.
Yeah.
For episode 10.
Yeah.
Where we're going to talk about all the things that we have learned.
We're putting a bow on the Rona.
And then we putting her in the closet.
Yeah.
See you
done,
later.
girl. Unfrit. Okay, moms, we love y'all. Thanks for being here with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.